All right, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between? Welcome to Inteligense Chek. I'm your host, Grim, or Paul, whichever you prefer. And of course, to my other side, I've got, of course, my good buddy. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
Introduce yourself, Maja.
The name's Conrad. Conrad24 is my Twitch channel.
Yeah, so remember to hit up our different Twitches to watch. Like Conrad is right now hosting my stream on his Twitch. So if you want to watch it there also, it's perfectly fine. But whatever you guys want to do, go for it. So, couple of things before we actually begin today's episode. So we have a very, very talented friend of ours. Her name is Priscilla Dillon. She is a phenomenal artist. And so after yesterday's episode, like last week's episode, we spoke to her. We're like, yo, Pris, we need some help. We need some new art done. Like we want to get some art done for the podcast. And she's like, okay, so what do you want? So we told her a basic idea of what we're looking at, and you know what? I'm just gonna show it to you guys. You guys ready for this? Yeah. All right, here we go. This is the art. Check it out, guys. There it is. The new, brand new splash art. Look at that thing. Look at that. Look at that.
Let's go.
Look at that. That is beautiful work. And of course, our socials are there on the poster, as you can see. Again, some people have updated their Twitch. So you can see his Instagram. So for Conrad, it's Connorboy24_TV. Follow him on that on Instagram to get in touch with him for whatever you like in terms of music or whatever else to keep in touch with him about his stream. And of course, you can see at the top right, that's Priscilla's handle on Instagram. Hit her up there if you need art for anything. You know, just hit that up. And I'm so glad you guys in chat really like this picture.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate how stressful that dragon is? I just love that.
Yeah, dragon's pretty stressed out.
Oh no.
Yeah. So Con and I sat with Priscilla for a while, and we're like, okay, how do we want to do this? What's the color scheme going to be? What are the designs going to be? And she came up with this fucking fantastic layout. And Con and I are like, yes. She's like, how's this?
Yeah,
yes.
Like, honestly, we gave her a very plain description of what we were as. I saw me sitting like this, crying at the table after rolling a natural one on an intelligence check, and Paul's just just consoling me in a way, or just overseeing this as the DM, and just gave her this general idea, and this is what she did.
And she came up with it beautifully, absolutely amazing. For those of you wondering right now, yes, my hair is kind of red, which is why there's red color on the art. But yeah, so Priscilla gave us a bunch of different variations on this. Where it's like this one. She's like, yes, this one. Make it so. And we got it. And also, our good man Conrad also made a new track for us, which I think is quite a cute track, and I really like it. I hope it's loud and it's playing well. Everyone on stream, you can let me know if you need to increase the volume, reduce it. Let me know. So 2 unveilings. We're taking this shit serious, man. We're taking this shit serious. We want this to become a thing. But yeah, that's a new track. Can you guys hear the song? Is it audible? Is it good?
I think it can go up
a little bit more. Okay.
Yeah. But let on chat also, let's see what they say.
Yeah, chat. Let me know what you think. Is it too loud, too soft? More? You want more?
More. The
Can't hear
says
her.
more. Yeah, it was a little too soft, I think. The level on this one is quite low, I think.
Okay, so how much more do we need to push it up? This much? Wow, this is some professional content, guys. Okay,
yes,
cool. So, to begin, so as you can see, the title of this episode is an introduction to D&D. And Con, okay, so when someone says, what, what, like, what do you say? What is D&D? Like, explain D&D to me. What do you say?
Well, if someone asks me, and this is how I respond, I just tell them it's storytelling at best, with either a bunch of people you already know or people you don't know but you get to know as you're making this story together in this imaginary fantasy world that's given to you. Yeah, that's kind of like my I try to leave it as basic and simple as that.
like for me, yeah, group storytelling. So for me personally, I'd say when someone says, okay, so explain D&D to me, I was like, first of all, I'm like, do you have the time? Because that's the important part. But no, more importantly, the fact that the art of storytelling with a group is kind of interesting. So most people think that D&D is super, complicated or difficult to understand. But in actuality, it's damn simple. There's a whole lot, like, so think about sitting around a table with a bunch of friends, using your imagination and playing a game. Think about playing pretend as a kid. That's what Dungeons and Dragons is. The only difference is there's rules and, of course, math, obviously. But but then it's all about imagination. You're like, so the Dungeon Master will give you a setting. You have your characters. You all describe your characters to each other. You do voices or whatever the hell you want to do, and you guys just have fun with it, man. It's all good fun. Everyone was having a good time, and it's all about imagination and just putting aside any and all. What's the one I'm looking for? But anyway, yeah. Sorry, I was in the middle of.
I feel you. I couldn't find a perfect word for it, but I feel you.
Yeah, no, it's a little difficult. You know what I'm saying? A little difficult to explain.
Yeah. But like as you said, that's kind of it's the same thing what I was saying. Like it's just storytelling. It's the simplest way to explain D&D without getting into like the mechanics of it and all the other stuff that comes along with it. Like it's I think storytelling, group storytelling with with a bunch of good folk.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's good fun, and I think it's like okay, so say there's a person you never met before, and they go, so what do you do on weekends? I'm like, I play Dungeons and Dragons. It's like, the fuck, what is that? Like, it's like, how do you? There's no way for you to explain it to them in a way that seems interesting to them. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I don't think everyone will immediately get what it does. Rather what it's about.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's one of those things you have to experience for yourself.
True.
I mean, like everyone has seen, like for example, for me, I love I got into D&D because of Community, the show. Community showed me a weird way of playing with D&D, and I'm like, fuck, this is awesome. I want to do this. You keep hearing about it, and then I had to sit and learn and read a lot of books, so many books, just to learn the damn game because there's so many rules. But once you get to playing, it becomes stupid fun.
Yeah, and once you get to playing, it gets easier. Like the rules make sense. The rules will make sense as you keep playing also.
Exactly,
So,
and
yeah,
every DM has their own set of rules. I also remember something that from last episode we mentioned Homebrew. So for those of you not familiar with the terminology Homebrew, Homebrew means it's something that the DM themselves has come up with, or the DM along with the player has come up with. It's not part of official rules. It's a rule that Dungeon Masters and players have put in their own games.
Just reading what Shreyas was saying in chat.
Yeah. Are you playing D&D on the side? I mean, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm still staring at the artwork right now. I'm really loving it. So anyway, so there's no what's I'm looking for. There's no easy way to do this. Like, so we need to explain to you guys how to start, like as an introduction to Dungeons and Dragons, and it's very difficult. And this is going to be a pretty lengthy process, so please do bear with us. This
It's going to
episode,
be a long episode.
yeah, this episode might extend a little bit. Due to my distinct lack of technical skills, I done forgot something, which is I'm going to change my screen in a second, and I realized that I don't have the music track running on that, so I might have to do a quick finagling of stuff. So just bear with me for a second, guys. So we're going to shift to this scene here, and as I said, the track is missing. I apologize. Let me quickly repair the situation.
No worries.
There we go. I think the music's playing. Yes, fantastic. Okay, so this is one of the different virtual tabletops that we use when we play Dungeons and Dragons. This is called Roll20, and this is brought. Actually, most of us started playing D&D right here on Roll20. And so, when you begin a game of Dungeons and Dragons, so the first thing you do is decide, what am I going to make? What character am I going to play? Am I going to play a wizard? Am I going to play a fighter? Am I going to play a cleric? Or the 14 different classes? Or is it 15? I can't remember. But it's one of those. 14 or 15 classes. But what ends up happening is most people are not sure. Like, okay, sure, let's say I play a wizard. I'm like, okay, you need to decide your stat block. They're like, excuse me? What are these words you're speaking at me? And it's simple. So the normal way most people play the game is by doing this, which is called a standard array, which gives you from 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, and 15 for you to put into your character sheets. So let's say you want to make a fighter. You want to make a melee fighter. So you would put strength as your highest, so 15 for your strength. You would put, say, 14 in constitution, because you want to be healthy. You want a decent wisdom, so you put 13 in your wisdom. And for charisma, let's say I'll do the 12 there. Intelligence will be my dump stats. I'm going to put it at 8. And dexterity we will put at 10. So this is normally your standard array of... Hey, Rokamster, thank you for the follow. So this is how you usually decide your stat block. But there are multiple different methods as well. There's also roll for stats, which is a 46, drop the lowest. You can do it right here also. Or you can do a point buy system. You're given 27 points, and you can decide decide into what you're going to put your points into. Even though this thing has a roll for stats thing here, which is quite nice, I like to use this because it looks pretty. So this is one of our stat block roll codes. Hopefully in chat it'll pop up. There we go. It rolls the dice out there for you, so you can see it all. As you can see, that will become, and the thing is like, so while most of the 40s take the most rolling for stats situation, it'll normally assign. It always goes in order, but this allows us to make any character we want. So in our games, at least in my game, Con, is the same for you as well?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so we roll stats until you have a minimum of 2 15s. So let's try that. Oops, I done goofed.
Did you see that 4? Did you see that 4? I was just sorry. That was. I just had nightmares just looking at. Sorry. 4. Wow, I've never seen a 4 on a stat roll.
You keep complaining.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, you keep complaining that I get amazing stat rolls.
I mean, but that's just bizarre.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue. That just caught me off. It's scary, guys. Stat rolls decide a lot of core things that your characters can and can. It makes a difference. You will see.
Yeah, We'll show you what these
Yeah.
adhere to. Is it gonna roll or not? Wait to see how many rolls it's gonna take. Let's find out, dude. Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. Look at that. 11, 16, 15, 17, 15, 15. Actually, even this one ain't bad either. Yep. Yep. You see those, Con?
Jeez.
Yeah. So, okay, the reason why we don't use Roll20 anymore is mainly because, well, fucking it lags super hard. So you notice I just rolled twice. Whatever. But yeah, so we're going to use this, which is the 11, 16, 15, 17, 15, 15. Let me actually write that down because I'm going to switch screens and I'm going to see it.
You want me to write that down?
If you don't mind. Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yes. 11, 16, 15, 17. That's a good roll.
That was an amazing roll.
So, how do you roll a
You roll 2 ones and a 2.
But, dude, those were all ones on that one.
No, it could have been all ones.
I think it was.
Was it all ones? Hold on.
There were a lot of ones on that.
Yeah. It's 1 1 2 1.
1 2 1.
Yeah, 1 1 2 1. Yeah.
Sorry, that's still messing with me.
Okay, so as you guys look at so at this point is when you decide with that stat roll you can make whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. It's kind of stupid how good that roll is. So, Khan, pick a class. What would you like to play?
Let's go. Fine, let's go rogue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, rogues are a meme. Okay, so we have 17, right?
Yes, we do.
17 into dexterity. Okay.
Our next highest is a 16.
16, let's put that into... Yeah, what constitution? Look a little healthy.
And then we have 3 15s.
Okay. 15.
And the dump is 11, so
Strength,
how is this
obviously.
guy gonna be? I think he's... You know what? Let's make him super charismatic, little wise, but like, let's make his intelligence dump just for fun.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Intelligence dump stat. Which still doesn't matter because that's a fucking amazing stat. Look at that. 15 strength, 17 dexterity, 16 constitution, 11 intelligence, 15 wisdom, and 15 charisma.
Yeah, just not too smart.
Yeah, just not the most intelligent person in the world.
Wise,
Yeah, super wise. So, Roll20 has this beautiful thing. And I'm sure most virtual tables have this as well. They'll tell you
They do,
what each of these things mean. What are those numbers? Exactly. But yeah, each of these things will tell you what everything does. So as you can see, charisma is for confidence, eloquence, leadership. Wisdom is your awareness, intuition, your mental acuity. Intelligence also is what wizards use for spell casting. Constitution is your health, all that stuff. Dexterity is how fast and nimble you are, and strength is obviously strength. So this is the stat block we decided to go with. Honestly, like if it was up to me, I would put that 11 in strength and 15 and that 15 in intelligence because you want that. But Khan wants to be Mimi, so that's fine. So this is usually how we start off our games. We decide what the stat block is. We enter it in, and depending on what the stat is, you can decide. So, what would you like to build? You want to build a rogue? Want to build a wizard? With that stat, you can build whatever the fuck you want. There's no limitations on this. If I want to play a wizard, I would make my intelligence 17. If I want to play a warlock, I would make my charisma 17, and so on and so forth. It's kind of nuts. So, concept, we're going to make a rogue. So, we jump to the class section of this. Drop down menu, go to rogue. All of this will make sense once the sheet is ready. But once again, here on the side of Roll20, you can see what the rogues get. There's even a quick build for you. How to build stuff. What's a good area to get. Your class features. All this. Like I say, I'll explain all of this once the sheet is complete. But for now, you can read through this to understand basic idea of how a rogue works. So right off the bat, skill proficiencies. Stealth. Acrobatics. Perception. Sleight of hand?
Yeah. Sleight of hand, of
Sleight
course.
of hand. Okay. Expertise.
Yeah, the box standard.
Thieves' tools and stealth. So basically what expertise is, it allows you to double your proficiency bonus, which I swear to God, we will explain once the sheet is over. I promise you. I promise you. So, this is our class chosen and our features chosen for now. Now we get to choose our race. Now, a new book came out called Tasha's Cauldron to Everything. That Cauldron to Everything, Cauldron for Everything. I think it's Cauldron for Everything. I think it's, is it off or for?
Cauldron off everything. But anyway.
Whatever it is. So, this new book turned the rules of character creation on its fucking head. Which is super infuriating for Dungeon Masters, but players love it. But the reason why it's amazing is because up until now, till Tasha's came out, every class has a ability score increase. So for example, let's look at the Asima. They get a +1 to Charisma by default. Sorry, +2 to Charisma, my bad. And then depending on the sub-race you choose, there are different other bonuses that happen. So this is always fixed. No matter what you do, it's fixed. So which is why, unfortunately, you will see a lot of Goliath barbarians or Orc barbarians and stuff like that, which is great, but it's very stereotypical. However, actually can't pick a race.
Let's see. What are we feeling?
Give me something stupid. A Goliath rogue, maybe?
Sure, why not? Why not?
Okay.
Like an 8-foot Goliath rogue, bulky dude. I mean, he's got a 15 to strength and what, a 16 constitution? Yeah, 70. Yeah, bulky dude.
Yeah.
But
so
can't be seen in the dark.
Yeah, so Goliaths are by default are like 7 to 8 feet tall, but he can hide. So as so as you can see, the ability score increase. It gives a +2 to strength and a +1 to constitution. That is the default for Goliaths. However, thanks to Tasha's, we can customize that. So I can decide to go ability score, increase my dexterity by 2, and what? What do you think? Constitution by 1?
Con, yeah. I was
Con by
thinking
1?
con as well.
Okay.
Might as well.
So immediately I have an 8-foot tall, extremely stealthy fucking Goliath.
Extremely like bulky also.
Yeah, he's huge. Like massive. Like he can lift double his size, essentially.
Yeah.
Alignment, let's be chaotic neutral. I'm one of those people who enforces alignment because it's important. But it's only important mainly for the paladin, the warlock, and the cleric. This is where these 3 classes are the ones I feel alignment are the most important.
Yeah.
Should I explain why now, or should I explain why that now, or when we do the class explanation?
No. That when we get into class explanation, we can go into that.
Yeah. So we've chosen our race, we've chosen our class, we've done our abilities. This guy is extremely impressive. Guy or girl, whichever you wish. Up to you. Backgrounds. What do you want to be?
Let's see. I mean, what are the usual box standard rogue backgrounds?
Criminal. Charlatan.
Charlatan. Let's do charlatan.
Charlatan? Okay.
Yeah.
So again, you can see exactly here what charlatan is. You're supposed to be a people person who scams a lot of people. You can even choose your scams. I cheat at games. I shave coins or forge documents.
Or it can be something that you you could probably work with your DM also.
Yeah, I mean, I've involved cheating at games of chance, and I can use my intimidation to make go, you fucked up. Ah! You know.
Yeah.
So these things here, personality traits, these can be altered, and I'll just roll for them. Doesn't matter what.
You
they
could
are at
roll
this
for
point.
them, or you could come up with your own traits, discuss them with your DM and stuff.
So let's see what I got. I'm a born gambler who can't take a risk. Oh, that's amazing. I pocket anything I see with some value. Amazing. I'm a free spirit. Amazing. Yeah, I have a child somewhere out there.
Somewhere, yeah.
And I can't. This is amazing. I rolled for those and I got those, and that's amazing for me.
Yeah, that's
That's hilarious. That is actually hilarious. But yeah, so this is your background. The background is basically what we use to create a backstory for you. But like I said, this is what the game is giving you. You can always edit these yourselves. So you always have two personality traits, one ideal, one bond, one flaw.
Yeah, what I like to do is I like to use a background from any one of the books, and rather I like to pick a background which I feel would suit my character's actual backstory, and and just talk to the DM and be like, hey, maybe I'll just flavor the traits a little differently, but find something that's fitting. You don't have to Paul rolled for all these traits, but you can come up with your own traits.
Yeah, and feel free
do
to
all
yeah,
this
exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
Feel free to do anything you want to this.
Yeah.
Because again, like the reason we put these up is like these things that exist there to help your role play.
Yeah, it's to guide you. It's like from time to time, trust me, especially if you get into running games, you'll start realizing that it's actually quite easy to forget a certain character's personality if you end up playing say if you're a player and if you're playing multiple campaigns. It's quite easy from time to time to actually forget, oh damn, wait, I'm playing this dude. Whoopsie. Yeah, I need to remember what this guy was all about. Okay, yeah, okay, yes, okay, fine. Yeah, these very traits, cool.
So it's I mean it's good things to know, to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Again, these are not hard fast rules. They're just guides for how you can play your character. So we've chosen the background. Now we go to equipment. We're just going to use starting equipment, which is class equipment.
Yeah.
So we'll grab a rapier.
Yeah. Let's go rapier and let's go
short bow and quivers.
Short bow, yeah.
And let's go with a explorer's pack because you're traveling the world. But of course, these packs will. There's very few differences between the packs, although there's certain specific things that are in them. But all in all, they more or less have the same thing inside. So it's up to you to choose what you want to go. Are you doing a heist campaign? Then a burglar's pack might be good. Or are you doing a dungeon campaign? Then Dungeoneer's pack. Or if you're going on a cross-continent adventure, explorer's pack. So for this guy, let's say we're going to adventure all around Faerun. Right, cool. That works for me. And color liquids, because I'm going to scam people by selling them shit, which is not real. Snake oil, basically. But as a rogue, you don't get any spells initially. We don't get any feats because we don't earn that. Then you can do the bio. So, of course, the Goliath, there's information here for yourself to do things for yourself. So, there's Goliath names, their traits, how big they are, what languages they speak, and stuff like that. So, you can just random height and weight. There's even a whole situation here. You can roll your own height if you want. Roll 2d10 and add, and then whatever. Do whatever you like. Base health is 200 pounds. Up it, lower it, up to you. Basically, this is how your character is going to look. And then you go to review. Oh, I already get set up. So this is the best thing about this game. This tells you already chosen this. You can choose something else instead. I'm like, okay, cool. My background gives you sleight of hand. Therefore, let's go back to class. And
switch that up now.
Let's get insight, investigation.
Sure, yeah.
Since you're searching for traps, even though our intelligence is
crap.
But yeah. So there you go. This is everything all done, And now we get to apply change, and hopefully, this won't fuck up. Roll20 has a bad habit of screwing up sheets. There we go. It worked.
Yay.
So whenever you print out a character sheet to play IRL, it'll look like this. Minus the well-written, because normally you write your own shit on your sheet. But this is everything you need to know how to play the game. Yeah, +8 on stealth because proficiency. So I've got a +4. Expertise. So my proficiency bonus is double. So 4 + 4, 8 stealth. So let's roll stealth because I was asked to roll stealth. 13. Not a good start. Lucky number 13.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Let's roll stealth again one more time. Wow, 14. Not great.
Wow, just
Not great.
Yeah, the rolls are beautiful.
Not great.
Rolls are beautiful.
Amazing start.
Rolling a 5, rolling a 6. Feels good.
3 good, 3 good, 3 good. Nat 5 and Nat 6, yes sir. So yeah, so as you can see, this is our breakdown of our skills. So 15 charisma, 15 wisdom, 11 intelligence, 17 constitution, 19 dexterity, and 15 strength. I use my good rolls on the stat block, yes. So right at the gate, looking at this, I'm sure everyone's like, I don't understand what any of this means. And I empathize. I've been there too. I totally get it. But here's the thing though. So if you notice these giant ass numbers, because you see our scores on the small little thing, but you know these fuck off big numbers. These are what we call modifiers. Now modifiers mean everything. I mean everything.
Yeah.
So actually, you know what, Con? Just log into Roll20 on Fandelvo. Do you have an account there or no?
I think I still do.
Okay. You have Ulrich's login, right? Or you don't? Anyway, doesn't matter. Fuck it. It's fucking. I figured we'd do that just for simplicity's sake. I can give Con control of the sheet, and we can talk about it through two together.
I've got it. I just need to find that message.
Let me know when you're in.
Yeah.
So beginning right off the bat, we'll start off here. So I can see the modifiers. So because of a 15, it's a +2. 19, so +4. 17, so +3. 11, so 0. 15 is +2, and 15 +2. So you notice all these numbers here. You got saving throws and skills, and you're noticing these numbers on the side here. So let me untick these as well. So right at the gate, you're noticing proficiency bonus is always 2. So when we start at level 1, your proficiency bonus is always 2. When it means you're proficient in something, it means you get to add your proficiency bonus to it. So rogues by default are proficient at intelligence saving throws and dexterity saving throws. Immediately you notice that's a 4. But because I'm proficient, I get to add the proficiency bonus to that, so it becomes a +6. So my dexterity saving throws are +6. That's 12. +6, 18. That's my save. Actually, now's a good time to talk about the dice that we have, actually. I should have mentioned that before.
Yeah, logged in.
Cool. Let me know when you're in proper. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kinds of dice. Alright? Let me give you control of this sheet as well. So you can also look at it as well. You see it, yeah?
Yes, sir.
So, as you notice during character creation, we decided a couple of proficiencies that we're going to have for our class. So we chose acrobatics. Athletics we get by default because of our race. As the Goliath, you get athletics by default as proficient. We picked deception. Deception because of our background as a charlatan. Investigation we chose from our class. Perception also from our class. Sleight of hand from our background, and stealth from our class. So as you notice, once again, it's the same thing here. Now, I also chose expertise in stealth. So notice it becomes a +8. That's usually proficiency bonus doubled. That's 4. Plus my dexterity modifier, which is 4, so 8. So at level 1, I've got a +8 to my stealth.
It's my rogues are broken.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
Conversation for another day, though.
Yeah, can't be another day. Yeah, 19 on stealth.
That I guarantee you will be me complaining and ranting.
Yeah, 100%. In fact, I'm going to have Conrad take lead on the rogue episode because he hates them so much.
See, hate is a strong word. I dislike them.
You hate them. It's fine. It's fine. So, this is your character sheet made. This is how you begin, and this is when you start to learn about your character. Like any dungeon master, if you're a first timer, he or she will sit with you. He, she, or they will sit with you, and they will go through the sheet with you. They'll tell you what is what, and we're gonna do the same for you right now. So as you notice at the top here, we have armor class, initiative, and speed. Con, take lead on this one, bro.
Well, I guess we'll start with armor class first. So your armor class for your character, basically how that works is like, for example, let's just say this guy is being attacked right now by someone, and Paul rolls an attack with his whatever his NPC is. Let's just say it's a direwolf. So I'm playing the intelligence check guy, and Paul is playing the direwolf, and he tells me, okay, it's a 22 hit. So when a DM says that, what they mean is does that number hit your armor class? So this is when your armor class, your total comes into play. So now in this case, that 20 is above my armor class, which is a 15. So that definitely hits. But let's just say Paul had to say and said, okay, I rolled a 14 to hit on that attack. Does that hit? 14 is just below the total of 15 on the armor class. So that misses. So to put it very simply, any attack that's rolled against you, which meets your armor class number, or your armor class total or higher, that's a hit on your character. And here again, there are other things that come into play which can hinder your armor class, either with it dropping or having it go up. Like for example, this guy being a rogue, he can actually try and sneak into a corner, and he can tell the DM before he ends his turn, hey, I'm trying to have half cover here, so I'm kind of not fully visible to the target. And be like, sure, if it works in the case, sure, it works. So then that person would have probably a +4 to their armor or +2 to their armor class, depending on how much cover they have. Again, that's just going a little deeper into it. But basically what your armor class is about, it comes into play on that attack roll. If that attack roll made against you meets your armor class total or higher, that's a hit on your target. If it's lower,
yeah,
you're lucky.
So for example, let me just roll this rapier attack. 9.
Horrible.
Absolutely.
I like this already.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, with a +6 to hit and just, no.
Yeah, it's a straight up miss.
So as you can see, his attack is 9. I rolled a 3 on the d20. He rolled a 9. So he rolled, so it's 3 plus 6, which is your attack. Therefore, 9 to hit. My armor class is 15. Miss. That definitely misses me. So that's how armor classes work.
Yeah.
Then we'll move over.
Yeah, and then we have the initiative tab next. Now, the initiative is what you roll for first. when combat begins. Like the moment the DM says, okay, let's roll for initiative, like, okay, stuff's going down, we're going to enter combat. Because this decides who gets to go first in the turn order. Basically, it is what it says, initiative. Which characters are taking the initiative from the highest to your lowest. So let's just simply roll initiative. I'm gonna roll initiative for this guy. So that's a good roll. Like he rolled a 22. Now let's just say there was another PC in the party, and let's just say that person rolled an 18. So this guy, Yedaya, would go first. Or sorry, in this case, I'm playing the intelligence check character. He would go first, and then the PC who rolled 18, that person would go next. So it goes from the highest number to the lowest. That would be the initiative order for everyone, for the party members and for the NPCs they're going to be up against or that they're allied with, and whatever. Every single character that's in combat will be in the initiative order. And basically your initiative order is, I think it's your dexterity, right?
Yeah.
It's your dexterity modifier, basically. And you see there in this sheet, it shows 4.19. That 0.19 is used as sort of it's kind of to break any ties between initiative. So let's say someone else rolled a 22 in the party. Now, if that person, let's just say they rolled a 22.5, this guy would still go ahead because he rolled a 22.9. You use your dexterity total to create that dex breaker for your initiative ties, if there are initiative ties. It's very rare that it happens, but when it happens, you could use this to decide. Or sometimes DMs, like if there are two party members who roll the same number, like some DMs just be like, okay, I'll let you guys actually tag team this one. Y'all decide who wants to go first, who wants to go second, and plan your moves accordingly. Some people will agree to that as well. But that's what your initiative tab is all about. Paul, anything that I miss on that?
I just want to explain how Roll20 decides the 0.19. So if you notice, my score is 19. So for example, 18 to 19 is +4. So let's say my party member who rolls after me gets the same, but his dex score is 18, while mine is 19. So I get 4.19, he'll get 4.18, which immediately tells the DM, okay, I go first.
Yeah.
Then my friend goes second because his dexterity is lower than mine.
Yeah.
So that's usually how it's dictated as to if there's a tiebreaker, who gets it is dependent on your dexterity score as well. But it's also like concept. Some DMs say, okay, both of you can go at the same time. So you can tag team this shit. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
So then
personally, I like to do that. I like to see, especially if it's some really cool combat situation, I'll be like, yeah, tag team this shit, guys, go for it. It'll be fun.
Could be a cool fight, cool combo together.
Yeah.
Then we move on to speed. Now, speed is dictated by your race. Unfortunately, certain races, like for example, the smaller races like halflings and dwarves, only get 25 speed. Yeah, they only get 25 movement on their speeds, which means they can move. So each square in D&D is 5 feet. So if you can move 25 feet, that's only 5 feet of movement that you have. 5 squares of movement. When you're 30, you have 6 squares of movement. So the higher your speed, the further you can move. And 30 feet is the maximum movement you can do on your turn.
Yeah.
But we'll come to the turn order in just a second. Shall we just move down? Or you want to move to we already covered the personality traits after that. We've already done that. So let's move down to hit point. Hit points are how much health you have until you drop dead.
And this is like a nice time to actually explain why it's good to have a good constitution score. Like as much as possible, try to not dump your constitution.
Never dump constitution.
Never dump your constitution, because that's going to decide, like especially when you start, as you level up, that's going to decide your hit point total. It's going to play a big part in that. So you don't want to dump your constitution.
Yeah. The last thing you want is a -1 in your constitution.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
you could-
advisable not.
You could potentially lose hit points.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Oh.
you see a score of 11. You're like, how does the game decide that, right? So as you notice at the bottom, it says hit dice. So barbarians get d12s. Fighters, rangers, and paladins get d10s. Sorcerers and wizards get d6s. And everyone in between, which I can't for the life of me rattle off right now, get d8s. So how your hit point maximum at the beginning is decided is it's the d8, so full number 8 plus your constitution modifier. So in this case it's 3. 8 plus 3 is 11. Therefore you start with 11 hit points. And that is how the calculation is done for your initial health at level 1. So hit points are basically how much health you have. So let's say let's make a rapier attack again. 19, so 13 plus 6, 19, armor class is 15, that does hit me. So I roll damage, please, thank you. Which is a d8 in damage. So that's 4 plus 4 because my dexterity modifier is plus 4. So 8 points of damage, which is kind of nuts at this level.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 3 health left. Fuck. Feels bad.
Feels bad, man.
But this is how we do it. So the attack happens. If it meets or exceeds your armor class, you take the damage. The DM or you roll damage. So in this case, I rolled 8 damage. Therefore, I take 8 damage, which is significant. Now, let's be clear. Most monsters at level 1 will not do this much damage to you. I promise you.
Yeah.
DMs, I mean, unless the DM is psychotic, he's not going to do that to you. But yeah, no, that's basically how this works. That's how the hit point system works. Temporary hit points are things that you can gain from spells or abilities. So, for example, let's take the samurai subclass. Yeah, the samurai subclass of the fighter. They have something called. Oh fuck! I forgot the feature's name. Shit.
I think I know what feature you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
not getting the name on the top of
my
my
god, I
head.
forgot my name. Forgot the name.
See,
of
guys,
it. Yeah, see,
there's just so much.
so much information.
But hey, there are
Yeah.
books.
There are books you can read.
So
But basically,
like it's
Yeah, so basically, this feature gives the samurai himself 5 temporary hit points, and he gets to make an attack with advantage. So, what temporary hit points is, they're in fact what they are called, temporary. So, let's say I get 5 temporary hit points. Let's say my health is back at 11. I take. Let's roll to hit again. Maybe will I hit? I don't know. Let's find out.
Ooh, miss.
Fuck it. Let's say I hit. Take damage.
Ooh.
Oh, rolled an 8 again. Oh, 9 in fact. Okay.
No, 9.
Rolled 9. So when you have temporary hit points, it's like a buffer for your damage. You always reduce the temporary hit points first. So in this case, 9 damage. Reduce this completely to 0. So that's 5 damage reduced right off the bat, and the rest of the 4, if I can do math, goes to my health. So it's a great thing to have. Temporary hit points, if you can get them, take them. It's a great cushioning in a fight. But that's pretty much how temporary hit points work. Very simple and straightforward, honestly. Quite simple that way. Take the next one, dude.
Okay. So, moving on, we have hit dice column. So, now, as you can see right now, it just shows 1. That's because you are at your first level. So, you gain these hit dice, this hit dice total goes up as you keep leveling up. And the use of these, actually, they come to play when your party or your character alone decides to, let's say you take a short rest. Say you guys were like, had a small scrap with a bunch of, like, gangsters as y'all were traveling along. So you're like, a little bloodied up. Let's probably take a short rest for probably an hour. And soon as you finish a short rest, rather if you complete a successful short rest of an hour, you can roll hit dice. Again, now if you have one hit dice, if you're a level 1 character and you have one hit dice, you can just roll only one because that's your hit dice total. But let's say, for example, this guy had 3 hit dice on him. Now, if he can roll either all those hit dice, all those 3, to get back as much health as he wants after that, or let's just say he wants to use one because he feels, okay, yeah, maybe one roll should do the trick, you could do just one. And you will regain all your expended uses of your hit dice maximum after a long rest. Rather, you will get back half the total, half the maximum. No? I think it was half the maximum. Yeah, half the maximum. And I think it's rounded up, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's rounded down, actually.
Oh, is it rounded down for hit
down.
dice?
Yeah, rounded down.
Yeah, there's always a little confusion on that. But yeah, so let's say, for example, this guy has 4 hit dice in total. And after, like, but before he takes the short rest, he just had 1 remaining. So he finishes that last one, gets himself back, okay, fine, I feel fine. They reach a safe spot. Now he takes a long rest. So now that he has 0 hit dice remaining, he will get back 2 hit dice after his long rest.
Yeah.
So that's how that works.
I mean, and also to explain what the rests are. Now remember, we're not resting in game for an hour. No.
No. Rather, it's not real life resting for an hour.
Yeah. I can imagine some people get confused. Like, 8-hour long rest, macha, we can't play for 8 hours. No, it's that's not how it works. It's in-game time. So 1 hour of in-game time allows you to use your hit dice, and 8 hours of in-game time allows you to gain back half of your maximum hit dice only after the rest is over.
Exactly. That's key. That's why I mentioned only after a successful short rest can you use your hit dice. Let's say 50 minutes into that short rest, right? The party gets attacked again. That's gone. Yeah. You can't roll your hit dice. You are stuck with what HP you had just before the short rest. Like, you're still screwed. Yep. So again, it's like, that's D&D again. That's a definition of D&D again. You don't know how things are going to play out. Yeah. That's roll of the dice.
Yeah. I mean, the DM knows, but you guys don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes even the DM doesn't know.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes the DM's just like, I'm just going to roll this dice for the fun of it.
Yeah. What happens?
Ooh, a dragon shows up. Well, shit.
Like, for example, last week I was rolling in Descent into Avernus game for these guys, and I rolled, like, let's see what's happening. These fellas have spent enough time in the Undercellar. Surprisingly, nothing was going to happen to them. I was like, oh, interesting.
It's a little disappointing. Because we chose to go the fun route as opposed to the safe route.
Nothing happened.
Yeah. Safe route would have got us there in no time. The fun route, I'm like, okay, fuck, we're going to get into a fight. Our cleric has no spell slots. Okay, let's see what happens. And then no fight happened. And we're just like, cool, I guess. Amazing. We got lucky. Even though some of us were itching for a fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how your hit dice work. And like I said, every class has a different hit dice, and that hit dice is fixed. So you only gain so say you want to take a short rest. Let's say I took that 9 damage, so I have 2 health left. I'm going to roll hit dice for myself.
Yeah.
I rolled 4. I heal for 4, so I go to 6, and that usage is done. And like Conrad said, when you finish a long rest, you get it back.
Yeah.
And also when you get a long rest, your health goes back to full as well. So keep that in mind. And sometimes it's more, like, for example, most martial classes that don't have spell slots, stuff that most of their features come back on a short rest. It's better for them that they roll hit dice for healing as opposed to making the healer spend their spell slots to do the healing.
Yeah. That's true.
Because casters only get their slots back on a long rest. Unless you're a warlock who gets their shit back on a short rest. But like I said, we'll go into the nitty-gritty of those classes when we do their own separate episodes. But that's how your hit dice work. Then we come to death saving throws. Oh, sorry, you want to say something else?
I just wanted to say again, coming back to what Paul was saying initially about hit dice, each class has a dice related, associated for their hit dice.
Yeah.
So,
so depending on which class you pick, you might have a bigger hit die or a lesser hit die.
Yeah. For example, barbarians. I love barbarians because D12 hit dice, man. Come on.
D12 hit dice,
knowing here's the thing. This is where dice comes into play, right? This is why D&D at the end of the day is all about roll of dice. My barbarian keeps rolling either a natural 2 or a natural 1 on every level up he does. Right?
Give or take, yeah.
D12 dice. So I probably am playing a barbarian with the lowest HP in D&D history.
It's kind of nuts.
So yeah, it's kind of nuts, guys. So again, like, just because your character or your class, the class your character has, has a high hit dice, don't think that necessarily means, means I'm gonna keep rolling high HP. No, at the end of the day, it's what you roll. You best roll well.
Yeah. Roll well, okay, or just get fucked.
Yeah.
So coming to dice. So you have D4s, D6s, D8, D10, D12, and D20, which runs the whole game, of course, a D100. Now, D20 is what dictates the entire game, how things happen. If you're going to make an attack, it's a D20 plus my modifiers. Simple as that, honestly. Like any skill check you do, any saving throw you make, any attack you make, anything you want to do, a D20 is thrown to see if you succeed or fail at what you're going to do. The rest of the dice are usually used for your attacks or spells. If you're a spellcaster, you use a lot more of these. But the D20 runs the game. The D100, otherwise known as percentile die. So you roll the D100. In this case, what I get. So that's 84. That's 84%. And normally there's a table which we can look at and go, okay, so what coincides with 84? This effect happens. Could be for wild magic, could be for something they drank, could be for a random loot they find. You decide. The DM decides, players roll the dice and see what happens. Okay? So, coming to death saves, Conrad's fucking arch nemesis. Okay, so death saving throws. This is the one role in this game that doesn't have a modifier. No, it's straight D20 rolls. So
the scariest role you're ever gonna make in game.
Yeah, it's quite terrifying.
The most stressful, the most terrifying, the most.
So let's say
can be the most game changing also.
Yeah, it can lead to some really amazing moments. So let's say my health is 0. My character has fallen unconscious. In earlier editions of Dungeons and Dragons, the moment you hit 0, your character is dead. They're out of the game. The character's gone. 5th edition is what we are playing. They've added grace rules, or at least a chance for you to survive. So let's say your character is at 0 hit points. Every time at the top of your turn in the initiative order, the Dungeon Master will say, roll me a death saving throw. So let's, for the fuck of it, roll a death save. 17. So the rules, so that's a success. So the rules for death saving throws is 2 to 9 is a failure. 10 to 19, success. Now you notice I didn't mention 1s or 20s. If you roll a nat 1 on your death saving throw, you instantly get 2 failures. And when you hit 3, your character is dead out. Like you are bleeding. Like until this happens, you are bleeding out on the floor, unconscious. But when you hit 3 failed death saving throws, you are dead, son. You're done. Game over. Now, if you roll a natural 20 on your death saving throw, You are instantly alive, but with 1 hit point. But you're still prone because you fell down dead. You're stuck on the ground. So on your turn, you roll the d20. I am fine. I survive. And what I like to do in my games, and a few other people like to do in their games, we have players whisper the death saving throws. So the other players on the table don't know what the saving throws are at. Which adds even more tension. It's like, do I kill this guy? Do I kill this enemy? Or do I go and save my dude? It creates that problem that they have to, that question they have to answer. What the fuck do I do? And especially if it's whispered and the other players don't know what the other players are at. Like, you could be at 2 failures and you roll again. You might get another fail, but only you and the DM know. Other players are just like, I try and heal him. And then you can tell them, unfortunately, your buddy is dead. There is no way to save him now. And yeah. And Khan has died several times. It breaks my heart. I never want to kill a character.
I've even rolled natural one on my death save.
Yeah.
I've gone through the worst D&D can offer, guys. Trust me, and I still love the game.
Yeah. It's stressful to say the least.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the basic idea of living and dying in D&D. Then of course we come to this. This is the one everybody wants to know about. Khan, you take this one, dude. Attacks and spellcasting.
Okay.
Let's go.
Attacks and spellcasting. Okay, so let's deal with first just basic melee attacks, like weapon attack. So this chap, as you can see, he's got rapier. We got him a rapier, we got him a short bow, and he's got a dagger. So let's start off with the rapier. So especially now with regard to Roll20, how it works, or most virtual tabletop platforms, your attack and spellcasting section on the sheet, however the format is for that particular virtual tabletop game, that might change a little here and there. Like Fantasy Grounds, the character sheet looks a little different, but the basic format, the basic idea behind the character sheet is still the same. So it might just take you a little bit just finding out, oh, in this one it's here and it's not there, but how they function is the same. Basically, you click on the rapier. Now, for example, I'm attacking. Like, I tell Paul, okay, I see that dude in front of me. I'm pulling out my rapier and I'm attacking him. So he'd be like, yeah, sure, go roll to hit. So let me roll to hit him. And knowing me, it's quite an average roll. I rolled a 6 plus 6. So first, let's talk about that plus 6, which is added to the natural 6 rolled on the dice. So coming back to our modifiers, remember the big numbers that Paul talked about, which he pointed out. Now, if you look to our dexterity, we've got a 4. So here in this case, what the roll is, you roll a d20 dice, and in this case, the number was a 6. And then you add 4 plus your proficiency bonus. Your 4 comes from your dexterity modifier. So you're using your dexterity modifier plus 2, which is your proficiency bonus. And that's how you get the total of plus 6 to your roll. So that adds up to a total of 12 to hit. Now let's just say the creep he was hitting had an AC of exactly 12. That still hits. So here in this case, in Roll20, you just click on the chat on rapier, and I'll just roll to attack. So now the DM will tell you, okay, go ahead, that hits, so roll your damage. And okay, so that's a total of 9. So now on the dice here, I've rolled now the damage for this particular weapon. Now here's where the damage dice comes into play. Each weapon has its own damage die, right? And now there are categories to these weapons also. You have martial weapons, you have light weapons, you have weapons with thrown properties, and so on, ranged weapons, right? There are various classes to these weapons. Now, the rapier, I think, falls under a... I think it falls under simple weapon.
No, it's a martial weapon, but it's finesse.
Martial finesse. So it has the finesse property, which means now if any weapon has the finesse property to it, you could use your dexterity modifier. Let's say, for example, this martial weapon in general uses the strength modifier for its damage dice. But here in this case, you're a rogue and you have high dexterity, but you are still using a rapier. Since the rapier has the finesse property, you can use your dex modifier instead of the strength. So instead of using that +2 from the strength, I'm using the +4 from my dex. And that is added with my proficiency bonus, getting that +6 to the attack. And the damage dice for the rapier is a d8 dice. So the roll on the d8 was what did I roll? A 5.
You rolled a 5. Yeah.
Too bad, actually, yeah. And you use your dexterity modifier +4, a total of 9. So whoever or whatever I've hit now takes 9 piercing damage.
Oh yeah,
Now
damage
here
types are
again,
very important.
Damage types, very, very important. And it's very important to pay attention, like especially in combat. And this is something like if you're a new player, don't worry if you've not picked up on this already. But now if you've heard of it, hey, pay attention to how your creeps, like rather how your enemies are taking the damage you're dealing to them. I always like to ask my DMs, is it taking damage? They look okay. And like DMs will always give you like some DMs might not give you hints straight off. Some DMs, if you ask, they would be like, yeah, you see, he's not taking as much damage as you expected. And that's probably because, let's say, for example, I was hitting a creature that's resistant to piercing damage. That 9 would immediately be halved. And it would be half, let's say, for example, 9, if we're halving it, it would be rounded down to 4. So damage types are very, very important in combat on how it affects the damage, how hard that damage hits the enemy you're targeting. So there's like, just to give you a like, slight overlook into it, there's piercing, there's slashing, there's bludgeoning, there's force damage, there's necrotic damage, that it goes on, there's fire damage, there's cold damage, there's poison. So you see when I'm going this, like, there are so many damage types. But like, for example, bog standard weapons, you have like, piercing, bludgeoning, slashing. Those are kind of like, the bog standard weapon damage that you have. So in this case, it's piercing damage with a rapier. Let's quickly look at the short bow since we have access to a ranged weapon. Now, ranged weapons, let me open, Paul, actually open the gear on your end.
Yeah, no, it opens on either side. You open, I open.
Oh,
it opens for me.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
good. It opened for you?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sweet. Yeah, it did. So if you look here, you see range and it shows 80 by 320. So now every ranged weapon has a particular distance within which it's effective. So this short bow in particular has a range of where up to 80 feet you hit normally. Past 80 feet and up to 320 feet, you can still, your arrow will go to the target, but you will be rolling your attacks at a disadvantage because it's starting to go away from the, like, what's the word I'm looking for this
Effective range?
particular, effective range. Thank you. You're just about crossing the effective range of this weapon. So once you start crossing the effective range, and if you still play within its maximum range, you can hit. You can definitely try to make the attack, but you will roll at disadvantage.
So here's the
And
weird thing.
let's just
For example, let's say the enemy is at 85 feet.
Hmm.
And you've used your entire movement to get that close. But they are still just outside of your effective range for your short bow.
Hmm.
So you will roll that, even if they're 81 feet away, they are out of your effective range. This is a little finagly. It's a little weird. So as you can see, Khan just switched the advantage toggle to disadvantage. So when he rolls the attack, go for it, dude. You notice 2 d20s are rolled. Now, when you're rolling at disadvantage, you roll 2d20s and you take the lower number. While advantage, you roll 2d20s and you take the higher number. Pretty simple and straightforward. And of course, the DM will tell you that dude is out of your range. You may roll to hit, but you will roll a disadvantage. And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And there are multiple ways to get advantage and the multiple ways to get disadvantage as well, depending on the situation that you're in. Now, we're throwing a bunch of stuff at you right now, which may not make a whole lot of sense in the moment. But trust me, once you guys start playing, you will see how these mechanics work into gameplay. Okay? But just bear with us.
Yeah. Don't get overwhelmed by anything. I initially, when I had to get down to learning the mechanics properly to start playing, the first campaign, Adi's campaign, in Time of Sand. I remember sitting, just before the session and, actually panicking a little. And I was like, oh shit, why am I forgetting how to roll the attack? And then I was like, you know what, okay, let's just wait. And actually, once I started playing with everyone, and here's the thing, guys, at least, I don't know, I play with nice people. Most tables, you're not going to be yelled at if you ask a question. Always ask. It's good to ask if you have a doubt. Clear a doubt, especially, your DM's always there for that. So, don't sit till it comes to your turn and be like, oh, I just panicked. I don't know what to do. Just ask. Just be like, guys, I kind of forgot how do I roll to hit again? Someone will definitely, or everyone will jump at one time. But yes, the help will come to you is what I'm saying. And get into playing. Just get into playing, and once you start playing, all these things make so much more sense, guys. Trust me. After that, it just becomes common sense because you get into the mechanics a little more. You get your feet dipped in a little more, so you'll be like, yeah, that's why we're using a +6. I get it now. And you always have books online readily now to refer at any moment, at any time. In the digital world.
Yeah, I mean, just Google and you can find stupid amounts of information.
It's ridiculous. And like I was saying in the last episode, D&D has finally hit the surface at least. There's it's like D&D swimming around with its snorkeling gear now. So that's good.
I mean, that's basically the entire sheet that I want to talk about here. There's not a whole lot else to discuss in terms of anything else. All of it it's pretty straightforward stuff. It's very easy. Like I said, initially looking at it, it's extremely oh my fucking god, so many fucking numbers. How do I understand anything? It's like, no. Get this down. And when you get to your first session, you sit down, you guys go through your first combat session, you will learn things as you go. Okay, so enough nerd shit. Let's get back to the artwork, which I want to show everybody else again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so D&D, it seems complicated. It seems hard. There's a lot of math. Sure. And like I said, the math can take you out of the moment. But there are something like for example, if you're playing in IRL, you have to actually roll actual dice, do the actual math. On virtual tabletops, the math is done for you. So you can just go, I rolled a hit. And the DM can just look over and chat and go, yes, that hits. Amazing. And then you roll the number, they take that much damage. Cool. It makes things super fast when you're playing on a virtual tabletop. In IRL games, there's a degree of tension when you roll a dice. It feels good to roll dice, don't get me wrong.
It feels good.
It feels really good to roll the dice. But the dice but then of course it bogs it down because then you have to go, okay, I rolled a 12. What's my attack modifier? It's a 6. Okay, what's my damage? So 6 plus 12, 18. Does 18 hit? Yes, it hits. Okay, cool. Let me roll damage. I roll a 1. What's my damage? It can become a little cumbersome in IRL.
Yeah.
However, it's
don't
fun.
let it overwhelm you also.
Yeah.
Especially in IRL cases, I'm sure DMs are everyone, even DMs have to sit and have math issues. So a DM is going to be patient and wait for you to calculate your total properly.
Yeah, and
So
plus,
don't worry.
I mean, the dungeon masters probably roll more dice in one
Oh
session
God,
than you do.
You think he's worried about you? He's
Yeah.
worried about his own math.
Yeah, I mean,
Trust me, guys. DMs most of the time, you think they're plotting against you. No, they're actually trying to make sure they remember everything they had planned.
Yeah.
Or if the party's like gone off course, he's sitting and like ripping shit off of his head. He's like probably going, "Oh no, what do I name this NPC they're talking to? Oh my God, is he a good person? Okay, he's probably a good person."
I mean, so. Say I have 4 players at the table, and there are 8 enemies in front. As a dungeon master, I have to roll 8 enemy attacks, while these guys get to roll 1 attack per turn.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my fucking god! I gotta do all this math. Roll, fuck. That fucking doesn't hit you. Shit. Next guy, roll. Okay, he hits. I gotta roll a bunch of dice. Like I roll more dice than my players ever do, and it's kind of nuts. Like Heart Fairy says in chat,
Yeah,
D&D.
that was you
riding a bike.
nailed it.
Yeah.
You nailed it on the head there. That was
Exactly.
amazing. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, guys. Like the more you play it, the more it makes sense. Like at first sight, at first glance, like let's just say you get into the game and finally like a DM puts you onto Roll20 or whatever and be like, voila, here's everything. Yeah, you're immediately going to be like, dude, maybe I signed up for a little too much. Don't get overwhelmed. No, don't let that be your first thought. Rather, that will be your first thought. Just don't let it get to you. Just be like, yeah, okay, this stuff will come to me. This stuff will come to me. Just
Yeah.
start playing.
Exactly.
Start playing.
Just jump in. Because like I was saying, like any dungeon master worth his weight in salt would definitely have a session 0.
Definitely, yeah.
Session 0 is very important because it sets the tone for the game and helps people understand how they're like the DM might just do, let's do a mock battle just so you
Yeah.
you guys understand how your sheet works. How do you make attacks? How do you call out your say so say there are 4 goblins. I'm like, I'm gonna attack that goblin. I'm like, which goblin? The third one from the left. I'm like, okay, fantastic. Attack that one. Roll to hit. So you roll your attack. So and like you're saying, IRL, it's a little difficult because IRL most of the times either you have minis or you have theater of the mind. While something like Fantasy Grounds or Roll20 or whichever virtual tabletop you're using, there are multiple ways for you to indicate I am attacking this dude. So the DM knows, okay, cool, make your attack on that guy. And it's just like Heart Fairy said, the more you play, once you learn the basics and how stuff happens, how stuff flows, that is when you learn things. Oh, I forgot to we forgot to talk about action economy.
Oh, yes.
I realized
yes,
about that.
Yes.
Again, we're throwing
No,
a
we
lot of,
just took a nerd break.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Just doing math and other bullshit. I apologize. So, action economy, again, 2 big words being thrown at you. Simple. On your turn, there are 3 things that you can do. There's an action, a bonus action, and movement. There's one more action, but that happens outside of your turn. But these 3 things can happen on your turn. So you can, say my speed is 30 as the Goliath. I can move 30 feet. Then as my bonus action, I can, as a rogue, I use my bonus action to hide. So you roll your stealth roll and you roll whatever it is. Now, if you're in a fight, there's always the passive perception everyone has. So in my case, it's a 14.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a +4, so it's 10 base +4 passive perception. So say I roll a 15. No, say the enemy rolls a 15 on their stealth. My passive perception is 14. I cannot see that character. Therefore, they get to attack me with advantage. So that's a bonus action. And for action, I choose to attack, which will be your rapier attack, shortbow attack, dagger attack, or if you're a spellcaster, that's your spell. And some spells even say this spell is a bonus action or this spell is an action to use. But remember, on your turn, generally speaking, you have these 3 things you can do: action, bonus, and movement. Now, when it's not your turn, you have reactions, which are fantastic. So things like attacks of opportunity. So say an enemy is come within range of you and they decide to leave your attack range. As a reaction, you can attempt to hit them as they're running away. And then in which case the DM will go, okay, roll to hit. Choose your weapon of choice. Normally, if they're in melee with you, you're probably going to use your rapier. So you'll attack with your rapier to maybe get an attack in on them when they're running away from you. So that's the basic action economy that you have on your turn throughout the initiative order. And like Con said, initiative goes from the highest to the lowest. The higher initiative, the sooner you go in your turn. And remember, guys, when it's not your turn, read your sheet, plan your stuff.
Yeah.
Plan what you're going to do.
Yeah, I was just going to say that once you finished making the main point, I was going to pipe in and say that it's good to pay attention to what's happening and also look at your sheet and just be have an idea of what you can do to aid what's happening already.
Yeah.
Don't wait till the last minute.
Like I tell my party and anything else I play, I'm like, hashtag read your sheet. Because I can't keep track of your characters. I have to keep track of 15 other NPCs that I have.
True.
I'm like, you have inspiration. Why didn't you use it? You have a feature that reduces damage. Why aren't you using it?
And as a player, that's all you need to do. That's
Read
all
your
you
sheet.
need to do. You
Read
just
your
need to
sheet.
be proficient with your sheet.
Just read your sheet.
Just be proficient with your sheet. And you can just do this just even half an hour before the session. Just spend 5-10 minutes with your sheet.
Yeah.
If you've played enough of the character, you just need to brush up.
Yeah.
Just need to brush up.
Like for example, beauty of Roll20 is it gives you features and traits right here. So I have powerful build. What does powerful build give me? I count as one size larger when determining my carry capacity. Or Stone's Endurance, which is a Goliath exclusive feature. I can roll a d12, add my Constitution modifier, and reduce damage that comes to me. Rogues at higher levels get something called Uncanny Dodge, which halves the damage that they take. I can stack that with Stone's Endurance and reduce the damage to nearly nothing. But that's the thing, and the DM will not remind you that you have these features.
Yeah.
Because how the hell is he, she, or they supposed to fucking remember when I am running 10 dragons at the same time?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what can you do? I've had the amount of times I had people go, they get knocked the fuck out. They drop to 0 hit points, or the character dies and they go, shit, I had inspiration, or fuck, I had this ability that could reduce the damage. Damn it. I'm like, well, did you use it? No. Well, then either way you're dead. I'm sorry. But that's the whole thing. That's the whole idea. Read your sheet. Understand what each of these things mean. Now here's the thing is, if you don't understand what something is, ask. Do not be scared to ask. Again, we as Dungeon Masters, we want you to succeed. We want you to win. We're on your side. Our job is just to make it difficult for you to win. But we want you to win. Read your sheet. Be familiar with your sheet. Be familiar with how your class works. What is your class good at? As a rogue, I'm good at sneaking around, getting into stealing things from people. I'm good at hiding in a corner, taking pot shots at people, and getting access to sneak attack, which is the rogue's bread and butter. If you're a rogue, sneak attack is what you're going to use the most of, because it does a metric fuck ton of damage if you have advantage or if you have allies within 5 feet. I think is best thing about this, it tells you right here information about sneak attack. Beginning at first level, you know how to strike subtly and exploit a foe's distraction. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 1d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack if you have advantage on the attack roll. But it also says you don't need advantage on the attack roll if an enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it. So if you have an ally 5 feet from an enemy and you take that attack, you don't have advantage on the attack, but you still get your sneak attack because you managed to squeeze that arrow in between your ally's legs, which catches the enemy unawares. So that's the sneak attack. So read your sheet, understand your features, understand how they work. Mainly because it makes things easier for you to understand how you can aid your party in doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, don't be afraid to ask questions. Please ask. There's nothing worse than someone sitting there tight-lipped and going, I don't fucking know what to do. Shut the fuck up. Ask. Just ask. We'll help you. My God, we'll help you.
Yeah. And your party members are always there also. Like
Yeah.
everyone is there to help you. Never feel like, like again, like D&D is all about letting loose and having fun. So of course people are gonna help you have fun with your character as well.
Yeah, I mean, for example, like Heart Fairy says, the best part of creating, making your own character, the thrill of how to shape a being, of custom races to classes, the way you character. Like, for example, like normally speaking, I would never make a Goliath rogue. It's super counterintuitive. But the rules say it works. So it works.
Yeah.
My 8-foot tall
Rather,
barbarian.
the rules say, why not?
Yeah, the rules say why not.
Why not? This Goliath, see, in my head already, I'm thinking this guy was like, going on pointed at from the time he was young, like, as a clumsy ass. And like people are like, you're just like one of those dudes who's like, you can't, it's like, it's hard to miss you, man. Why are you always so thing? So he took it upon himself to like, start being like, super sneaky, super stealthy. Just something so stupid like that.
I mean, again, that could be a great backstory.
He's a rogue.
Yeah, could be a great
There you go.
backstory. Could be a great backstory. It's like he's been trying to get this one thing from this one guy, but he just can't do it. I'm like, I am going to become the stealthiest motherfucker ever, and I'm going to break into his house and steal his shit.
Yeah.
That's a great backstory for you. So, at the end of the day, it's all about reading your sheet. Sit with your dungeon master, or sit with one of your other players who might know more, and just discuss what you can do and how to understand what your different features are. Because the last thing you want to feel is useless at the table.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
The DM also doesn't want you to feel that way, like because DMs automatically can pick up when a person is being like a little too reserved at the table. It's very easy to tell.
Yeah. Which is why I keep saying, dude, do you want to do something when you guys want to have a chat? No? Oh, okay. I will never force you to roleplay. But either way, my point is just have fun. That's the most important thing. Read your sheet, have fun, understand your class, understand your character. And I mean, again, like we mentioned in episode 1, it's a commitment. Dungeons and Dragons is a commitment. Yeah. If you're going to play, put in the work. Because when you put in the work, it becomes more fun. Because then, like when I started playing, I've been theory crafting so many goddamn characters, which I will never play. Never play. Because I'm a forever DM. Actually, I'm not a forever DM. I just like being a DM. But you come up with some crazy shit. Like, why can't I make a Goliath rogue? Who says I can't do that? Why can't I make a freaking gnome paladin? Who says I can't do that? I'm picking up a giant fuck off sword and I'm coming at you, and I'm 3 feet tall. What you gonna do? I will smite you. It's like, why can't you? Like some people come with the most crazy things. I've been polymorphed into I've been polymorphed into a piece of bread, but I got awokened. So I do have magical abilities. So, but I can't walk. I have no feet. I'm going to use Mage Hand to carry myself around. Who says you can't do that? It's cumbersome, but you can do it.
You can do it.
I mean, it'll be hilarious because the moment water falls on you, you just crumble to pieces. So, not the strongest, race to choose, but doesn't mean you can't do it. Yeah. But that's the thing, though. So it's all about understanding what you're deciding to play. Like Lost Minds of Phandelver, I had a party which unfortunately TPK'd, but I sat with all of them and went through their character sheets and told them how this stuff works. I gave them a basis. But it didn't stick with them until their first combat segment. Then they were like, oh, right, that's okay, that's how that works. Okay, okay, cool, let me, So, take your time. Understand.
Yeah, take your time.
And once you get in game, it'll all make sense. Anything else you want to add, Con?
I mean, I think we've covered like the basics so far.
Yeah. and like I said, both our socials there are
much to talk about.
Exactly, so much. Like I said, both our socials are there on Splash Art. You have questions about D&D? feel free to DM us.
Yeah.
I swear to God, feel free.
Anytime.
Feel free.
Anytime.
I am more than happy because the more people I get in Dungeons and Dragons, the happier I feel, because this hobby is without question one of the best hobbies I have ever taken up in my life.
Hands down. Like Paul and I are on a mission to break the stigma.
Yeah,
Break the fucking stigma.
I swear to God.
Okay.
Just play, join us, have fun,
Yes.
tell stories. I mean, at some point we're gonna one of the episodes we're gonna sit down and talk about stuff that's happened to us in our various games, and we have so many stories to tell. And all of it was decided by dice, but it's the imagination that lets you go, I see it all happening in my head.
Yeah, it's stories now. They are now proper stories. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of it. Like, whatever you do in your Dungeons and Dragons campaign, in your particular story with your table, that remains life, guys. Like,
Yeah.
forever. That's main. That's
You-
there. That story is there. No one can take that away from you.
Yeah, and so you can create some amazing stories.
Yeah.
But I think
I mean, I got so many, like Ollie, for example, I got him super like interested into D&D by just telling him stories about Purgatory.
Yeah.
And I was telling him a lot about like Luna. Like it was just after Luna died is when I was talking to Ollie about, like, I remember I had Grey Shack Jam or something the next day. And we were busy recording. We were recording Sundowner. And that's when I told, like, I was telling her, my one of my favorite characters died, and then I was explaining to him that's what got him interested. And then he joined my first, like, you know, my experimental game as a DM, my first game, the Master's Wall, and Ollie joined that, and now he loves it.
Yeah.
He's picking it up. He's starting to find his place in D&D. It's nice to see him enjoy it.
Yeah, no, it's super fun because like when people get involved, stories happen, things happen, like things I don't expect keep happening in my games. I'm just like, this is amazing. I love this.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I was put in by crazy stories as well.
Yeah.
It's just stuff and just telling stories and just having fun.
Wow, that's like full circle
Yeah,
to today's episode. Like we started by saying just that.
yeah.
We started this podcast by saying just that. You asked me, Con, how do you explain to someone what D&D is about? And that's what I said. Like, it's storytelling at best with a bunch of people you either know or you don't know, or you're probably just meeting and you get to make a bunch of new friends as well. But yeah, it's just storytelling at best.
Yeah, it's amazing. The amount of friends I've made through D&D, it's astronomical. It's insane. People I probably never meet, but we're still friends.
Yeah.
And we're gonna keep playing this till we all die, without question. Like I'll be playing D&D till I drop.
Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure.
But yeah, guys, I think, wow, we've been an hour and 42. Jesus, that's a long ass episode. I apologize for everybody who's hung around for so long.
Apologize.
I mean, but again, I hope this was informative. Insightful. I hope it gave you an idea of why we love this game so much.
Yeah.
And like I said, our socials are there. Feel free to hit us up at any point if you have questions.
Exactly. The reason why, the main goal behind this podcast is not to get ourselves out there more than anything. It's about opening the community of D&D out there and be like, hey, you know,
come play.
Come. It's
Join
actually
us.
welcoming.
Yeah.
We're nice people. We don't sit in dingy rooms or sit with our lights off. No.
Yeah. We're all chill.
If we turned our lights off, it's because we want it off, just because we have it off, even when we're not playing D&D.
Yeah.
Okay. Stop the stereotypes.
Yes. So like I said, I'm a dungeon master, as is Con. We run sessions on weekends. So on Saturday, we have Conrad's game Descendant and Avernus, which I stream on my channel, which you guys are more than welcome to come join and watch and enjoy the fun. Then it's my game of Storm King's Thunder after that, which I think, Con, you do stream that as well?
Yep. I stream on my channel,
which is ConnorBoy24 on Twitch.
24.
And then I have a game after that which I play, which again I stream on my channel, which is a completely different group altogether. We have several other players who stream their own stuff as well, but for the sake of this, you can tune into my Twitch and watch my streams for D&D as well as other stuff that I do. Con, want to plug your Twitch as well?
Yeah, same thing with me. Like Paul and I, we have the same games on Saturday, and then on Sunday I have a homebrewed campaign that I am a part of. Rather, there are two homebrewed campaigns by one crazy DM, Mr. Adi, and those games keep alternating, like every other Sunday. But yeah, tune in, Cornerboy24. That's my Twitch TV. Of course, I'm just in the progress, just started, rebranding the whole thing and actually doing it properly. So, more stuff to come on that, more updates later.
Yeah, guys, definitely go hit up his channel if you want to watch any sim racing or you want to watch stuff like Valheim or other games. Con and I often play together, so we collaborate a lot of stuff.
We're collaborating quite often, so
yeah. So
you'll
feel
see
free to
us
drop by
together.
both our channels. Of course, another shout out to Priscilla Dillon or Prissy Dilly for this amazing artwork right now.
Oh, I'm so obsessed. It's going to be my wallpaper.
It's so good. It is so good. Prissy, thank you so much for this. I love it.
Thank you, Prissy.
So good.
It's amazing.
So like I said, if you guys want artwork for your campaigns, you want artwork for your characters, or you just want artwork done, period, message Priscilla at Prissy Dilly on Instagram. Throw her a DM. Hit her up for anything you'd like in terms of artwork. She will do it for you. Of course, she will charge, obviously. Artists have to make a living too. But
yep, we do.
Yeah, so hit those guys up. Hit up Con or hit up myself whenever you'd like. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. But I think that's the end of today's episode, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. And roll for initiative, and we'll see you guys next time. So from me to you guys, until next week. In fact, next week, we're going to start talking about the different classes available in D&D. And we're starting with the Artificer. The Artificer class. We're going alphabetically, basically.
Yeah.
So tune in as we deep dive into Artificers. Okay? So either way, from me to you guys, until next time. Peace out, guys.
Bye-bye.